Hi, friends. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Heart to Heart with Esther. I am Esther Omikale, and on this podcast, or through this podcast, I aim to inspire you to live your best life, even as I journey to some life too, right? So, what do I do here? I share with you inspiring stories and engaging content, to just inspire you daily to be better. And so that's what this is about. I'm glad to have you here listening. If this podcast blesses you, do share with others so they can also be blessed. So that's it for today. I would like to just quickly touch on something that I think it's quite important for us all to just practice, and it's something that I'll call just a mental decluttering. Decluttering, it's something that maybe not be practiced regularly. Or first, let's define decluttering. Decluttering is basically taking out all the mess and trying to put structure into a place or a thing, right? So if your house was messy and scattered, to declutter, you try to take out the unnecessary things and just make sure things are put in the right place and quite ordered. So that's what decluttering is like, right? So in recent times, in the past few weeks, the news have been quite saddening. So many death cases, so many cases of rape, so many cases of black injustice across the world, and I realized a pattern. It began to cause a sort of depression and sort of mental breakdown for many. Even for me, at the point I was like, I think I'm going to log out of my Instagram, because anytime I come on Instagram, it's either I'm saying that someone was killed, someone was raped, someone died, or there was injustice against someone, and it's just so saddening and it's discouraging and disheartening. And the only thing that gives hope in these times is actually God's word that says that He is with us, He's not leaving us alone, and that just sort of brings comfort. But I just want to touch on this because I feel like many of us will be going through probably similar situations where different things are just sort of just trying to make you discouraged. Different things are just sort of overwhelming you, whether it's the news, whether it's life situation, whether it's the circumstances you're going through. And it's just as if, what am I going to do? Why is it like everything is just working against me at this time, right? If you allow yourself to just wallow in that kind of mindset, it could lead to depression, it could lead to self-doubt, it could lead to fear, and it could just make you not be able to go for what you're supposed to go for. So I want to talk about mental decluttering. So just like I've explained earlier, decluttering is the state where you just try to take out all the unnecessary items and put other things in order. So what is the state of your mind first and foremost? What are you feeding your mind on? What are you feeding your mind on? What are you listening to? What are you watching? What are you reading? These things have a way of affecting the way you react to people, the way you react to things, because sometimes you just realize that you're being cranky, you realize that you're being just not happy, and you're wondering why. Nobody offended you, or nobody did something bad to you, quote and unquote, but because of happenings around you, probably based on what you've seen on the internet, or books you've been reading, or movies you've been watching, you just realize that it's actually taking a toll on you. So you want to watch it. You want to say, what am I feeding my mind, right? What are the kind of music I'm listening to? What kind of movies am I watching? What kind of rapport am I having with my friends? This is going to, first and foremost, let you just list it. So what am I reading? What am I listening to? What am I watching? What kind of discussions am I engaging in? So when you list this and you see that, okay, these sources, they are sources of depression, sources of negative energy, you may want to just for a while or totally block those off. So for instance, what I do on my Instagram right now is that I ensure that the people I listen to, people I follow, people that when I read through my Instagram feed, is either one inspiring content or somebody life I just like to see, or do you get, it's just so positive sometimes, or most sometimes, because in recent times even that has not been like positive. I just go on my Instagram these days, I just see someone has lost a family friend, one very beautiful soul has just gone to rest, and it's recently it's been so hard, and it's almost like I'm literally going to log off this channel. It's as if it begins to affect your mind, right? You wake up and instead of you to be thankful for a new day, you're just like, okay, let's just do it, whatever, and you're not like in the best state of mind, right? Because of what you were seeing. So what are you seeing? What movie are you watching? So if you're the kind of person that have a very imaginative mind and you just watch something and your mind can really like think of other things, or you're reading a book and you can imagine a lot of things, you may want to watch the kind of content you then consume so that your mind can then think of more creative ideas than ideas that would actually dampen your creative juices. I don't know if this makes sense to you. So you're going to do a mental audit, a physical audit if possible, of what you're listening to, what you're reading, what you're engaging in, and just ensure that you are making sure that the sources of negative energy and negative vibes is sort of cut off. So audit people you follow on social media, audit another thing is your emails. So if you're someone like me that subscribes to a lot of newsletters, you'll realize that suddenly it's as if your email has become like a dumping ground for different kind of information, and you just waking up each morning and you're waking up to like 20 new emails as of 6 a.m. because the newsletters are dropping. So you may just want to ensure that you unsubscribe from unnecessary email newsletters. If you realize that in the past 1 month you've not like read that particular newsletter, then unsubscribe. You really don't have to be subscribed to every newsletter. And also WhatsApp groups, right? So I am in this activation intensive program by de-cluttering, DDK. And this is one of the things we had to do in our activation intensive class. We literally had to go through a decluttering process, right? So both mental and physical decluttering. And there's a piece, that just comes with decluttering. Imagine that you had your house just maybe clothes strewn across your couch, your bed, your door, right? And you just have things not really in their places. Your books are just all over. It sort of stresses your mind. It may be unconscious, but it's a sort of subtle stress when you see things that are not in order. So the best thing, sorry, there's a cock crowing in my background. I'm not sure why it's crying in the afternoon, but yeah, sorry about that. So decluttering your space will give you this sort of calmness. So you just look around and you're like, okay, yeah, the books are in the right place, my shoes are in the right place, my clothes are in the right place, and it just makes you sort of calm, peaceful. Why would you not want that kind of peace, right? As much as possible, try to declutter your space. If you're not using anything, give it out, right? People that don't have as much as you have and need them, so you can also give it out. So we talked about decluttering your email, decluttering your WhatsApp groups, decluttering your Instagram account, Facebook if you use it, Twitter, the father of all. The energy that you get on Twitter some days, it can be so negative, it can be so hilarious, it depends, right? And the Twitter is such a volatile space, and you just have to ensure that it doesn't drag you into it. So if there's a lot of dragging of people, you want to just mind your business, right? And ensure that you're in a space where you're just decluttered, and just just list like what are the most essential things for me to do today, and just do them. And sometimes just give yourself like a rest and a break, and it just helps you to sort of just refresh and just be rejuvenated and just come back to yourself, right? So for me today, let me just give you a backdrop. So I'm supposed to be at work right now. We've been working from home, so yeah, I'm actually at work at home, but I just felt a little bit distracted and my mind was just all over the place, and I knew I just needed something to just bring me back, and that's why I'm doing this podcast, right? And I'm just sharing with you. It's a way to like help me as I help you. So I really hope this podcast actually helps you to just sort of come to a space, right, where you just feel calm, where you just feel peaceful. I hope my voice is soothing. I hope it is soothing to you, and it just makes you like, come back home. Don't be depressed. Yeah, meditate on things that are peaceful. So another thing you can actually do is when you wake up in the morning, you can listen to positive affirmations. I probably will do like a podcast that's just positive affirmations that you can just download and play on your phone. But before I do that, you can also go to YouTube. So sometimes I just do it on YouTube. I just listen to this positive affirmation, and it just works for me because it just puts me in a state of mind where I feel powerful, I feel courageous, I feel like I can take on anything that comes to me. And another thing I noticed is the mornings where I do like my personal devotion, I study the Bible, I just meditate on God's word, I feel way more ready to like take on the day. So those mornings where some other mornings where I wake up and I realize I have a lot of work, so maybe from like 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. I just get to work already. I pray, but I don't find like time to study the word. I realize that sometimes by midday I already feel this low energy because I am not like, I didn't prep myself the way I would prep myself. So know what works for you. If you wake up in the morning, what do? Robin Sharma talks about the 5 a.m. club, and I think it's a pretty good one, where when you wake up for the first 1 hour of the day, you commit yourself to doing something positive, something good for you. Not go on social media to check your notifications. No, when you wake up, refresh your soul, refresh your body, refresh your mind, meditate, do some exercise, and just write, journal, just bring your mind to a space of calmness, a space of authority, a space of courage and ready to take on the day. Just developing a right mindset. This will go a long way. And also listing out your tasks. I find out that when I list out my tasks for the day, what's related to work and not related to work, it helps me, right? Even if I'm not able to like tick everything off, it just sort of brings me to a consciousness of what I'm supposed to be doing, even when I get distracted. So when you wake up, right, what am I supposed to achieve today? And at the end of the day, before you sleep, just have time to just give thanks for, a day that was fulfilling, or a day that we were able to go through successfully. So I don't want this podcast to go too long, but I just want to just speak to you and just encourage you and just like tell you that you can be sane, right? You can be calm. You can still find sanity in a world full of challenges, in a world full of so many bad news. I mean, these times we're in, there are so many bad news, and it's really, really easy to be discouraged. It's really easy to be depressed. But when you get into depression, it doesn't fix it. Do you get? That's the bad thing about depression. It doesn't fix the issue. So why are you going to depression when you can actually try out other things that can help you get out of whatever state you're feeling, right? I mean, and I think prayer, meditation, just thanksgiving, these are things that can actually also help you to just sort of come out of any state that is not healthy for you, right? So make sure to declutter your mind, declutter your mental space, what you watch, what you listen to, what you read, what you see, what you engage in. make sure you're making them sources of positive vibes, sources of positive energy. Declutter your emails, declutter your WhatsApp groups, declutter your social media, declutter your physical space, right? And just declutter. And then when you're in a space where you've decluttered, you can then find time to just meditate, find time to just read, find time to just walk out and just put your body and mind and spirit in a place where you can then exude calmness even in the midst of the storm, right? You can just exude that positivity even when everything seems bleak. And trust me, one of the best places to get assurance in times like this is God's word. It just sort of brings this courage, it just sort of brings this confidence, it just sort of brings this hope that, if you read through Bible stories, that should just be another podcast for another day, because when you read through such stories and you just see people and the challenges they had to go through, but God was with them. If you particularly read about David, oh my God, this guy was supposed to have like a promising future. He'll be king and all of that, and prophecy has gone out and all of that. But between the time of the prophecy and the time of the manifestation, it was a long journey. He went through tough times. He had to fight battles that some of them he was not even supposed to fight, but he went through a lot. But in between and through all of this, he remained a man of thanksgiving. Right, and you see at the end, he showed us that a relationship with God is actually very crucial to having sanity in the midst of an insane world. So whatever you're going through today, I want to encourage you and just tell you everything will be fine. Try to declutter. Try to just find time to just breathe. If you need to take a break, and focus on materials that will edify you, that will make you calm and sane. Study God's word, it will help too. I hope you feel peace. I hope you feel assurance. I hope you feel hope. And I hope that you live your best life. Thank you once again for listening to Heart to Heart with Esther. Tell a friend to tell another friend to listen to the podcast. You can share the link with them. If you're listening on Google Podcast, you can subscribe, you can download so that you can play it over and over. Thank you. And then if you want to share with me, if there's anything you would like me to talk about, you can either record a message or follow me on social media at Estitude_ on Instagram, at Estitude_ on Instagram, and at Estitude on Twitter. Till I come your way again, I say cheers to living your best life. Peace.